Officials from the two Germanys and the four World War II allies met today to begin drafting a final accord on German unification. As East Germany prepares to give up its separate sovereignty, it is also giving up. CBS News has confirmed that while communist East Germany echoed the Soviet line in denouncing international terrorism, it was in fact a training ground and a base of operations for the world's most ruthless terrorists. Tom Fenton has our report.
A convicted German terrorist told that facilities like this secret East German camp were used to train foreign terrorists. They were taught to make tactical assaults like the one shown in this training film. They also learned to mow down multiple targets from a moving car. Peter Jürgen Bock said East Germany gave preferential treatment to Middle Eastern terrorists.
What kind of support did they provide the Palestinians?
Weapons, explosives, all kind of logistical things like papers and so on and so on.
Training?
Of course.
Virtually all the communist governments were involved in state-sponsored terrorism, and it's becoming clear that East Germany was one of the leaders. As the files of Eastern Europe's secret police are opened, more concrete evidence of government complicity comes to light every day. The latest reveals that an East German agent worked with Palestinian and Libyan terrorists who planned the La Belle disco bombing in West Berlin. That attack, which killed 2 American soldiers and a woman and wounded 229 others, was followed by the American bombing raid on Libya. It has also been revealed that Abu Daoud, who's believed to have masterminded the massacre of Israeli athletes at the 1972 Munich Olympics, West German authorities are hunting Daoud after finding out that he stayed on and off for 10 years at East Berlin's luxury Palast Hotel. Bock, a convicted member of the Baader-Meinhof, a radical terrorist group, said he was given a special telephone number in case he ran into trouble while traveling in East Germany. He recalls using it when a policeman arrested him for carrying a false passport.
And after he called up the telephone number I gave him, I guess it was the Ministry of Interior, he let me free.
Members of the Baader-Meinhof gang, who attacked American bases in West Germany and killed American servicemen, were given new lives and jobs in East Germany. Now they're being turned in by the agents who once protected them.
I think the terrorist international business is going to dry out.
The training grounds have been closed, but they remain monuments to the duplicity of the regimes who publicly condemn terrorism while secretly supporting it. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Kellingen, East Germany.
2 American high school students were killed and 56 other people injured when a double-decker bus overturned on a highway in England today. The bus was carrying gifted teenage students from the U.S. enrolled in a summer program at Oxford University. Witnesses said the bus was speeding and it rolled over as it turned on to a highway exit. The driver was only slightly injured. British police say they'll question him. The official death toll is near 500 from Monday's earthquake in the Philippines, but one official said today that it may be more than 1,000 when all the bodies are recovered. Rescuers pulled a few survivors from the rubble of a mountain resort hotel today, but they abandon hope for hundreds more believed to be trapped in other wrecked buildings. Straight ahead is more news, including Mark Phillips on a gathering to remember tragedy and heroism a year ago in Sioux City.
Crosswords and croissants need Sunday breakfast at our house, complemented by the rich, fresh flavor of Sunsweet pitted prunes. Sunsweet, an 8-letter word that means delicious. Taste Sunsweet. Beautiful.
But, Mom, he will use them every day. I'm gonna get them.
Here they are.
At least let me chip in. American Express. Gives you
This time, Mom.
He's gonna love that they come from you.
He'd better.
Having a way to recognize someone special. To become a member, look for this display and take one.
Can a healthy diet, including Mazola, bring cholesterol down? Here's living proof.
When I found out my cholesterol was over 200, I got nervous. So I cut back on saturated fats and cholesterol and used Mazola.
A clinical study showed that a lower-fat, lower-cholesterol diet, including Mazola, reduced cholesterol an average of 17%.
With Mazola's help, I got my cholesterol down. I can live with that.
Mazola. Together we're beating cholesterol.
I admit it, I read boxes. And post-grape nut cereal is packed with complex carbohydrates. It's a natural energy source. You know, I'm finding out that breakfast with grape nuts is a good way to help keep you going. Really?
The federal government is looking for a bigger cut of the action from businesses that operate in our national parks. The Secretary of the Interior said today some park concessions are making what he called, quote, excessive profits, and he wants to boost. Jerry Bowen reports.
The fees concessionaires pay to do business in America's national park system, everywhere from the Washington Mall to California's Yosemite National Park, may rise dramatically from the present average of less than 5% to as much as 22% of gross revenues.
The fees have been too low. And who was losing out? It was the investment back into the parks.
The 561 concessionaires doing business in the national parks provide everything from hot dogs to canoe rides to hotel accommodations. In 1988, they took in $15 million. The Interior Department plan calls for not only increasing those fees, but returning the money to the park system. At present, it goes to the General Treasury.
If we're really going to create competition and protect the parks, Congress is going to have to change the law so that increased franchise fees go back into the park system to help protect the parks themselves.
The proposed overhaul is prompted in part by disclosures that the Yosemite Park and Curry Company, CA, paid just $635 sales of 85 would raise that fee and have Congress change the law that has always given the concessionaires an automatic contract renewal, opening the door to competition.
It could have a depressing effect upon the desire of the private sector to want to invest money in facilities in national parks.
Increasing the fees could bring an additional already cash-starved park system. In these tight budget times, that may be the only way the parks see more money. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Washington.
Cincinnati officials today said 2 people died and 1 is missing after explosions and a fire that also injured at least 45 people at a chemical plant. Flames engulfed the 4-story BASF plant, which manufactures linings for cans. About 200 people reportedly were at work in the Cincinnati factory when the first explosion occurred, shattering windows in nearby businesses and homes. Further explosions accompanied fireballs shooting into the air. Cause of the blast not immediately known. And in Warren, Michigan today, race was the University of Michigan Sunrunner, blazing along with an average speed of 22.63 is the right word. The race, you see, involves solar-powered cars, 32 of them built by engineering students from across the continent. The 1,641-mile race began a week ago Monday in Lake Buena Vista, Florida.
I didn't think it could happen here, but it did. It started slowly. Before I knew it, the damage was done.
Water damage, it's a growing menace. To prevent it, millions look to Thompson's Water Seal to protect their homes. Thompson's unique formula penetrates wood, concrete, and brick to lock water out like nothing else.
It's gotta be stopped before it's too late.
Trust the #1 seller, Thompson's Water Seal. First and lasting protection.
How fast does your antacid start working?
My heartburn, maybe 5 minutes.
Ryopan starts in 2.2 seconds. Lab tests show that Ryopan Plus 2 starts neutralizing acid on stomach contact in 2.2 seconds.
2.2 seconds?
Remember Ryopan.
Hi.
Was I scared?
Well, what'd the doctor say?
He said my hemorrhoids aren't that serious.
Yeah?
That I don't need surgery.
That's great.
He said to eat right and exercise, and for flare-ups, use Preparation H.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
Thousands of doctors distribute this care guide. It advises a fiber-rich diet, exercise, and to help relieve hemorrhoidal symptoms, try Preparation H.
I feel so much better.
You think you feel better?
Preparation H in ointment and suppositories.
Are your teeth sensitive? Do they hurt? Sensodyne toothpaste can help stop the domino effect that can start with sensitivity. Then pain can make you stop brushing and can lead to tooth loss. Sensodyne toothpaste helps stop the pain and the domino effect.
There was an extraordinary reunion today in Sioux City, Iowa. It celebrated survival. It remembered the dead. Attending were more than 100 of the 184 people who somehow came through the cartwheeling crash of a disabled jetliner just 1 year ago. There were many deaths in that crash, and in some ways, as Mark Phillips reports, some of the survivors are casualties too.
Oh, I said some prayers that you'd get here.
There is, the experts say, something therapeutic in coming back to the scene of a tragedy.
It's a sweet and sour day, isn't it? Yeah.
Sweet in a way for the survivors of the crash of United 232 who have come back a year later to thank their rescuers and the pilot who managed to bring a plane with no controls into the airfield.
I just suddenly find myself thinking about the incident, and in particular the 112 who did not survive. I think about them very frequently.
No one's forgotten, not Adrian Badis lying stunned in the hospital a year ago.
Any of my family is saying this, I'm okay. I was hurting, all of them. I was really hurting.
The Badis family visited the firehouse that responded to the crash. They had been sitting in different parts of the plane, each of the boys with one parent. They didn't know they had all survived until hours later.
They played it out a lot, and they still do. They crashed their toys, but they rebuild them. They have Lego airplanes.
The Badises came back for themselves and for others less lucky, those who lost people.
They don't know what their loved ones went through, but through us.
A year later, a lot of them still need help. Diane Sudlow's husband was killed.
I guess I just thought I would get some sort of resolve that it's a year. You know, maybe now it'll be a lot easier to cope with. Everything won't be as painful, but that's just not true. I mean, I think if I came back here every year on the 19th of July, it would hurt the same.
Nothing's been the same since those fiery moments a year ago, not for the widows, not for the children who survived. 6-year-old Lindsay Werner draws pictures of her grandmother leading her and another child out of the cornfield.
That's when we had that little boy and me and my grandma trying to get through the corn.
It was a day of remembrance, of the tragedy, and of the heroics. If there was a picture that symbolized the crash, it was Air National Guardsman Dennis Nielsen carrying the unconscious Spencer Bailey from the crash. Nielsen and the surviving Baileys, the mother was killed, have become friends.
I want them to know Sioux City is a place where normal things happen.
So they've come back to attend a memorial service, along with the townsfolk, to walk through the crash site, and to try to come to terms with their own good fortune and others' loss. The cornfield is now planted with soybeans. In a year, not much else has changed. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Sioux City.
And that's the news from our world tonight. We hope you'll stay tuned to this CBS station for 48 hours. Tonight, 48 Hours is on the efforts of a mother to hide her son from his father's alleged abuse. That's tonight at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time. Dan Rather for the CBS Evening News. See you again soon on 48 Hours.
With lower back pain, every step can send more pain to your lower back. Clinically proven Backguard shoe inserts can help relieve lower back pain because Backguard absorbs jarring foot shock with every footstep you take. Backguard, only from Dr. Scholl's.
Tylenol or Ecotrin? Guess which one arthritis specialists choose. Surprised? It's Ecotrin, the aspirin with the iron safety coat to help protect your stomach. The arthritis specialist choice over Tylenol. That's Ecotrin, and that's the truth.
You can lose weight and still not like what you see. Because without enough exercise and protein when you diet to lose fat, you might lose muscle too. Special K gives you the highest level of protein available in a cereal. And protein can help you keep muscle while you lose fat. So make the Special K breakfast part of your daily diet and exercise plan. Special K. Keep the muscle, lose the fat.
This is Nicorette. Nicorette is nicotine gum. And Nicorette is available only from your doctor. Ask your doctor whether Nicorette is right for you.
The Volvo 240 does a fine job of surviving accidents. But the Subaru Legacy with four-wheel drive and anti-lock brakes reminds you the best way to survive an accident is not to get into one.